Hi, everybody. This is Tracy Eman with the WSA Bookstore, and I'm pleased to introduce Donna Duffy. Donna is the author of Embracing Autumn, a motivational field guide for midlife women entrepreneurs. Thanks for joining me today, Donna.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself with our listeners.
Well, I am an author, speaker, and coach, but I love to look more at the way of helping draw out potential of the women that I serve in my community and being part of community, which I'll share a little bit more about, which led to the writing of the book. But being a community builder is probably one of my favorite things, relationship building and helping women get to the place that they're trying to go in their midlife years as an entrepreneur and leader.
Did you find that you stumbled upon your love for community, or was it something that you kind of always felt that love of community?
Well, I grew up in a big family. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, a big Italian family. And so, always a lot of people around. But then I had the wonderful privilege of living in the Middle East for many years. And I lived in the city of Nazareth, in Nazareth, Israel, which is a tremendous place to raise children, being part of an Arabic community there. And I learned so much firsthand by my wonderful neighbors, and that just became pervasive over everything I did. It really resonated with me. I felt like I didn't quite have Arabic, but I knew how to manage in that kind of community setting. And then once Arabic came, it just was even more wonderful. So then when I returned to America, I just brought all that with me and found that other people were craving community here too. I think they didn't know it as much. And so having the opportunity to build community as I built my business was just wonderful. It's just the best, most aligned thing I could do.
That's beautiful. And like you said, coming from an Italian family, it really is about family and community and relationships. And then to have that kind of really cemented into your life with your experiences, I think that's incredible that you're able to bring that to people and help them where they're at, really get to that next stage.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that's been part of the evolution of things. Went overseas at 24 and I thought I'd be back in a couple of months, maybe a year. I didn't actually finally move back to America till I was 42 years old. So this became such an enormous chapter of my life. And then again, like I said, pervasive in everything I did. And then I'm no stranger to reinvention. So then as I went and evolved and grew businesses and things like that, that's kind of the common thread that has just run through everything.
It's incredible how you can have that common thread and look, maybe while you're going through it, you didn't realize it was there, but looking back, you can see how it really was nicely woven throughout.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't even know, especially as a child, coming up, growing up, you don't even know these are the things that are going to be just major attributes and characteristics of who you are through your adult years. And, very often kind of making that bridge back to the kinds of things that came from my childhood, growing up in a community setting, that now I see have passed on to my own children, because that's how they grew up.
That's beautiful. I would love for you to also share with us, like, what made you decide to write your book? And I love the title. We were talking about it. It's not just, once in a lifetime. It's every year. We're talking autumn. But
Right.
if you can explain a little bit about it, that would be wonderful.
So what I felt about embracing autumn is I really see this as seasons and stages of a woman's life. And we go through that spring and summer, and we come into these years in our late 50s, early 60s. And then, we're not finished. We have so much to do. And I look at autumn as the most vibrant, amazing season. And I feel that women in this stage of life, particularly now, are, it's not like the way things were even back in the day for a woman at 60 who may be considering retirement in a few years. Many of the women that are in my community and tribe, 65, 70, they're not planning on hanging their hat up yet, which is lovely. So what I started to realize was that in my community, growing my marketing agency, that a lot of women who came to my events, a lot of people who gathered around the table were women over 40, 50, 60. And so as I started coaching these women and helping them kind of map out and cast vision, it was amazing. The things they still had on their heart to do with no, end in sight, tremendous vision, great, just a sense of mission and making a difference in the world. And, not just having their entrepreneurship as a job, but as really being a difference maker and a change agent. And so that's what inspired me to write Embracing Autumn. Some of the chapters are, who's afraid of her own genius? Because, at times I think as we rise up, we're like, well, who am I to step out there and bring this message? Or hasn't everyone heard that message already? And so it's about stepping fully into our genius. Or another one is about being a North Star. And really at this stage, coming to the place where you're not meant to serve everyone. You cannot do everything. Over 50, yeah, we're done with hustle and grind. We really want grace and ease. We really want alignment. We want to do things that make us flourish, that make us know we're making a difference. And so it was that inspired the whole thing. And a motivational field guide for me was like, yeah, this has got some change to it. We're on a journey. Some things are going to evolve as we go, and being ready to receive and embrace possibility and opportunity in this season of our lives, in this incredibly vibrant season of being over 50, 60, and even in our 70s, just seeing some tremendous things happen and knowing we can be that catalyst. We can leave a legacy. We can see shift and change in the lives of our clients and light up our corner of the world. And then that became really the impetus behind writing Embracing Autumn.
I talk to women all the time, especially with Women Speakers Association, but just generally in my life and in the demographic. I'm your demographic, and it's so true that feeling of like, who am I to say, or or how do I, how can I not serve everybody? Or there all these things that you brought up along the way that I think is so important for women entrepreneurs to really, I don't know, just understand and resonate with. And it really doesn't really matter what age you are.
No.
I think the earlier you can understand that there's no cap on when you can, make your next big break and really embrace and come into your own. And I think we're always evolving. And it sounds like your book touches on that as well.
Yeah. And part of it is, like be like water. One of the chapters is be like water and find your way through, where not to just let these bump up against these things and throw our hands up. Well, I guess that's that. No, I feel like there's especially, and I call the women in my community sages, autumn sages. So especially at this stage, there is a tenacity and a resilience. There's a kind of a resolve. Like here are some decades behind us of wisdom and knowledge and bumped and bruised and burned and learned and fall down, get up. Like we see that. And a lot of times I see women almost go through all of that and then try to build a business and not bring all that tremendous wisdom to bear on this situation. And is really showing them how to weave this together to tap into that expertise and experience. In the end of the day, for example, with marketing, there are marketing companies everywhere. There's not a thing I'm going to say about marketing that you can't Google, right? But it's because it came through the grit of me, right? It came through my experience and my expertise that will gravitate those people toward me. Once women realize, then there's no redundancy. The only thing that is 100% the genuine article is you. Everything else is pretty much out there many times over, except for who you are, who I am. And that's the uniqueness. And I think when we have the courage to stand up in that and stand in the tenacity and the resilience of all of that, then there's a confidence there, which is incredibly attractive. That's the authenticity piece. That's the authority piece. And at this stage also, we're done with being copycats. Like it's, you know, we're almost more JOMO than FOMO, like the joy of missing out rather than fear of missing out. So we're okay to stand in our own space and be a little marginalized. That's okay. It takes us forever to get here. It takes us decades to kind of figure this out. But once we're here, I say embrace it. Just embrace it fully. And that is going to be the differentiator. That's going to be the thing that helps us rise above the noise in a very crowded and noisy marketplace.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that everybody should get their hands on your book, Donna. And where else can they get it? Like, I know obviously WSA Bookstore, but where else can they get their hands on your book?
Well, the book is available on Amazon. And if people have Kindle Unlimited, the book is always available for free on Kindle Unlimited, but it is in the Kindle edition and in a softcover edition on Amazon.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.